So who's next? Who's next in the state of Florida behind the plate? Tommy Giro 2028 playing for TG Dbacks. Tommy, man, appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Watching you behind the plate, you obviously see a lot of strength in the game. There's so much that goes into a developing young catcher, though. There's working with the pitching staff. There's receiving, controlling a run game. What do you feel like right now is that real big strength for you?
My strength behind the plate has always been being able to communicate with my pitchers, calling my own game, as well as my receiving, making balls look strikes and keeping strikes.
I know you're real comfortable with that one knee down approach behind the plate. How have you kind of developed that, and how's that helping you in terms of the framing and receiving?
Yeah, well, I dedicate all to my catching coach, Chris Chenette, back in Miami, but it really helps just as a bigger frame catcher, just be more comfortable, being able to load my glove in certain spots and just beating the ball to a spot and, well, manipulating where the pitch ends up.
We always love pitchers who rake, so there's obviously more than just the receiving aspect of the game. How much pride do you take in being able to contribute to a team offensively as well as what you're doing receiving?
Man, it's a great honor when I see my name close to the top of the batting order. I've always been able to hit since I was young, so I love hitting and just helping out my team on the offensive standpoint.
When you're trying to get a little bit better as a catcher, who do you watch? Like, who are those guys that you kind of focus in on at the position, especially at the pro level?
Yeah, so I really like Joe Mauer, a little older, but also left-handed hitting catcher, bigger frame, and I wear number 7 because of him, so I loved watching Joe Mauer.
Yeah, you're throwing it back a little bit. Most of the guys these days are saying JT Realmuto, Sean Murphy. What did you specifically like about Mauer's game beyond the fact that he was just a little bit bigger guy?
I mean, he was a leader, commanded the clubhouse, knew the pitching staff, and was always able to swing the bat well.
When you're a guy, when you go up to the plate, are you someone who's hunting fastball? Being a catcher, do you feel like maybe you have a little bit of a different approach than another batter would?
I mean, when I go into the box, I like to not think too much. I like hunting first pitch fastball, seeing the ball down. On the catching side of things, I'll overthink sometimes, but since I'm a catcher, but I like to block everything out. I always sit first pitch fastball, and in the dugout, I like to see if a guy's tipping certain pitches or what pitches he throws to the lefties, but I'm always sitting first pitch fastball.
So you came here to LakePoint Sports to represent Florida during the junior feature games. I know that can be an interesting situation for a catcher because these pitchers want to go out there, they're all amped up, they're all big, keyed up for that moment. How did you approach that from that, just working with the Florida staff?
I mean, I just let all the pitchers know that, hey, I'm here for you. You let me know what you like. I've never caught you before. I want you to feel as comfortable shaking me off, let me know your signs. So I just wanted to smooth out the moment, make sure that it's just another weekend in LakePoint.
All right, like I said, we love catchers who race. So let's get that bat in your hand and how you do your thing at the plate.
So my swing is something that I feel still hasn't been perfected, but I work on it pretty often. So when I get in the box, I tap both sides of the plate, make sure I know how far I need to get, what pitch I need to cover, and how tight I need to get. So I like to start my bat higher up now, make sure I can connect with the fastball a little higher. So I start my hands nice and relaxed, maybe I'll tap my foot a little bit, and then once my timing mechanism for the pitcher is whatever it may be, I like loading back into his back hip, give myself a little coil, make sure my foot's down when the ball's, say, halfway, make sure my foot's down at strong point contact, and from there, I'm just rotating tight within my body and making sure I'm finishing out in front and keep my direction forward.
Tommy, man, thank you so much for doing that.
Yes,
I appreciate it. If you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. You get so many more of the athletes that come here to show out.